Hey, it's Mr. Willis. I want to show you some cool layering effects in Adobe Photoshop 15. So first thing you want to do if you're going to use this feature is make sure you can see your layers panel. If you don't see it over here on the right side, like I do not see that right now, look at the bottom of your screen and there's some different options here. You click on the one called Layers and that gets the Layers panel because you want to make sure whichever layer is highlighted over here is the layer that you are going to work on. So you want to make sure you're on the right one. In this case, I want to click on that text layer for my W so I can apply some effects to it. Now, to actually apply those effects, I'm going to go up here to Layer, and then I'm going to go to Layer, Style, and Style Settings. So one more time, that's the word Layer, Layer Style, Style Settings. That brings up this little Style Settings box. I'm going to move it over to the side here. We've got some different options here that you can use. All of them can kind of have can do some cool things. One that I use very often, I'm actually going to start from the bottom here, is the one called a stroke. So you'll notice with any of these, if I hit the little drop down arrow, you can see options for it. And so I'm going to check that. And right now it's got a stroke of 1 pixel, so that's hard to see. So let me turn that up a little bit. And there, you can see how it turns up. So this makes a nice little outline on whatever layer you've selected. And I use this a ton with stuff. It's much easier to make your words stand out from your background if they've got some sort of an outline on there. You can click on this to change the color of the outline. Just make sure you've got some that contrast. So like red with a black outline, that works well. It kind of goes with our Falcon colors too. You can also do like an outside or inside stroke, kind of changing just the way it appears. So outside means that you'll see how it kind of goes, you see how it almost makes it look bigger and how it grows on the outside. Inside makes it kind of, shrink in on it. And with any of these, you can have it go way overboard. Sometimes make some cool effects if you're turning it way up. Like that's almost kind of a cool W. I don't know, not necessarily what I want. So I'm going to just go ahead and switch that back to something kind of like that. Some other effects would be the bevel. This one, it kind of adds almost a 3D effect to it. If I turn this one up a little bit, you see how it's kind of, bevel is one of those things, like if I were to be working with a piece of wood, it would mean I'm smoothing off the edges. And so you see how it kind of smooths off the edges there. Can be an interesting one. When you turn it way up, it almost gives the whole thing like a bubbling 3D look to it. So you can have some fun with that one. The glow is one that you can do an inner glow or an outer glow. I'll do an outer glow, and let me just pick a crazy color here so that I know it shows up. I'll do like this dark blue, and I'm going to turn that up a bit and make it a little more opaque. That one's actually not showing up very well with this one. I wonder if I might have to have a different kind of layer to do that one. Let's try an inner glow of maybe that same blue color. We'll turn that one up. There you can kind of see it. So you see how it kind of just makes this weird glowing effect there on the inside or outside. And that one can be weird to see depending on what's in the background. I'll give you a little clue. This glow is really useful if you're going to do a lightsaber or something like that, or maybe like someone's doing magic energy or something. Anything along those lines can be pretty useful. Take it away for right now. The final one is this one called Drop Shadow. And this one literally puts a shadow behind it. I'll turn the size up and turn the distance a little bit, and I'm going to make it much more opaque so it's darker. But you see how the shadow could be big or smaller. If I make it smaller, then it's a little more well defined usually. If I do the distance far, you see how, well, there it almost goes so far you can't see it. But it basically puts a shadow behind it. And this is another one of those that can be good for just making things kind of stand out from the background and giving it a sort of 3D effect to the whole thing. Also with this, I can change, so right now the lighting angle, you see how it's like going straight down. I can change that to kind of an, like the light's kind of hitting it from an angle, so the shadow goes off like that. So those are some cool layering effects. When you figure out some unique combinations with those, you can really make your text or other things look very, very cool. So have fun with that. Oh, I almost forgot. When you're all done, click OK. But you knew that, right?